Really? This is the path we're going to take? This is how the Olympics are choosing to defend the indefensible? I guess they should be charged with plagiarism because I seem to remember hearing this pathetic excuse when Ketanji Brown Jackson was nominated for the Supreme Court. Hey, KBJ, it's me, Chrissy C. I'm having a little trouble determining if my life partner is my wife or my husband. Can you provide some clarity? How do I recognize a woman? I would need the assistance of a biologist to determine the appropriate gender of your emotional support goat. Are we really debating this again? You really expect me to believe these people are so dumb they can't tell the difference between a man and a woman? You know, the other day I took my stepdaughter out to lunch, turning 16 next month, and like most teenagers, she is trying to figure out who she is, what she wants to do with her life. She's got a lot of questions. Right now, she wants to be a cosmetologist, but she's worried about not making enough money. She often picks on me about only being good at what I do here on the channel. Like I tell you guys all the time, outside of YouTube, I am completely useless. I think a shovel is a weapon. To me, a rake is just a really big fork. If the oil is leaking in your car, I can hand you a bucket to contain it, but I have no idea how to fix it. My daughter, she is very passionate about cosmetology, but she's concerned about her potential income. While we were at lunch, she said, "Only the best cosmetologists make any money. A lot of them starve." I looked at her and said, "So, become the best." I said, school is really great at teaching structure. School is good at giving you a routine. But one of the biggest problems in the education system, they train you to be employees instead of employers. They train you to be a jack of all trades. How many times have you heard, "We want you to be a well-rounded student"? You know what that gets you? A job application against other well-rounded students. I told her, instead of being well-rounded, instead of being knowledgeable about a lot of things, become the best at one thing. If that's cosmetology, you figure out a way to be the best cosmetologist in the city. You don't want to be a jack of all trades. You want to be the master, the best at one. Last I checked, the master, he was writing the paychecks that Jack is cashing. In my 39 years on this earth, if there is one thing I have become a master at, it is being able to successfully recognize a woman. Thomas Bach is 70 years old, damn near twice my age. He has been the president of the International Olympic Committee since 2013. 70 years, with 11 as the leader of the Olympics. In that time, I would assume that Thomas Bach has encountered thousands, maybe even millions of women. But for some reason, he expects us to believe that he does not have the ability to recognize them. For some reason, Thomas Bach expects us to believe that he needs the assistance of a biologist to properly determine the difference between a man and a woman. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Yesterday, Imane Khelif made history at the Olympics. According to the International Boxing Association, Imane Khelif possesses XY chromosomes. Imane Khelif became the first person in history to allegedly possess XY chromosomes, box against females at the Olympics, and win a gold medal. Well, that is amazing! This is great! How inspiring this must be to the children around the world. Oh, the children. It's all about the children. It seems like the word woman isn't the only word being redefined by the mainstream media. Over the past 2 weeks, during all the controversy with Imane Khelif, the media, they also seem to be redefining the word bully. According to the woke media, the people pissed off that the Olympics allowed Imane Khelif to compete against women, they are the bullies. I was always taught that the person with the clear physical advantage who was picking on someone smaller and weaker, I was always taught they were the bully. But it's not surprising that the media is trying to redefine the word bully, because the past couple of years, they have been trying to redefine woman. And just to be clear, this only seems to be the case with the American media. Every time the Olympics have been questioned about Imane Khelif and the confusion regarding gender, the questions, they always seem to be coming from reporters from other countries. I have yet to see a single journalist from America ask Thomas Bach why in the hell he's allowing this to happen. The woke media here in America, they are too busy trying to cover it up. The Associated Press, they blame the outrage surrounding Imane Khelif on racism and slavery. Slavery? What the hell does slavery have to do with this? The Daily Show, a failure on Comedy Central, they blamed what they called right-wing culture warriors. Now, of course, very few people saw these comments from The Daily Show because no one's watching that garbage. Even episodes with Jon Stu are struggling to draw an audience. Like I said the other day, there seems to be a simple solution to this problem. The Olympics, they generate billions of dollars. NBC generated over $1 billion in the past 2 weeks in ad revenue alone. It seems like the easiest solution to the problem would be for all female boxers competing at the Olympics to undergo a gender test. From what I understand, with a simple swab of the mouth, scientists, they can easily determine the gender of a competitor. Haven't we been told to follow the science? Isn't that the good word Aunt Fauci was preaching 3 or 4 years ago? Matter of fact, Thomas Bach, he was talking about following the science in his press conference yesterday. Once again, another reporter not from America was pressing Thomas Bach on gender. Watch for yourself.
If somebody is presenting us scientifically a solid system how to identify men and women, we're the first ones to do it. We do not like this uncertainty. What is not possible is that somebody is saying, this is not a woman just by looking at somebody.
Man, that was some good bullshit. I didn't believe any of it, but it was some good bullshit. For starters, you were provided a system to properly determine gender. Last I checked, DNA testing, it's been prevalent for 30 years now? Scientists have mastered the art of testing DNA. They can give you familial lineage, they can determine gender based on a microscopic piece of evidence that can only be seen with a microscope. Recently, the International Boxing Association, they provided a system for determining gender. Matter of fact, if you believe the test results from the IBA, they have already determined the gender of Imane Khelif. Last March, doctors from the IBA, they determined that Imane Khelif possessed XY chromosomes. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but from my understanding, the only people on the planet capable of having XY chromosomes are dudes. According to Thomas Bach, it is impossible to determine gender by looking at someone. Oh, really? Really? My nephews are 7 and 5. Like most kids, they are clueless. If I asked them to hand me a grape, they'd come back with an apple. If I told them to turn on the stove, they would ask for the keys to my car. They're kids. They don't know anything. They're not supposed to know anything. They are still learning. Yet somehow, some way, my nephews can tell the difference between men and women. You know how many times they have called my sister daddy? None. Yesterday, I had lunch with my friends downtown. When the waitress came to take our order, it took less than a second to determine that she was a woman. Not only that, I could tell that she was in her mid-20s, and based on her accent, she was raised here in the South. The bartender, he had a beard. think it's safe to assume that he's a male birthing person. Now, unfortunately for him, this is not Minnesota. We don't have the Tampax machine in the men's restroom. If you're a male birthing person and your mythical monthly cycle hits while you're at work down here, you better have your own tampons, because you are damn sure not getting them out of the women's restroom. This should not be this difficult. In the year of our Lord 2024, with the level of technology that we have, we should not be sitting here debating the definition of a woman. Thomas Bach claimed that the Olympics, they don't like all this controversy. If there was a way to determine gender, I promise you that we would be the first to take advantage of that opportunity. Thomas Bach is no dummy. You don't become the president of the IOC by being stupid. He knows damn well that he could put this controversy to rest. He knows damn well he could make this go away. This is a choice. The Olympics made a choice. They didn't test Imane Khelif, or if they did test Imane Khelif, they did not release the results. And there's a reason the Olympics failed to act. There are no consequences. Ratings for the Olympics, highest they've been in years. Now, sure, they had to deal with some controversy. They had to deal with a little bit of backlash from conservative media, but they don't care about that. You know why the NBA stopped publicly combating mythical racism? You know why LeBron James quit giving his opinion on political issues? You know why the NFL blackballed Colin Kaepernick? They had consequences. Well, KC, what about the WNBA dump? They never stopped preaching the good word and spreading the woke faith. Yeah, that's true, but the WNBA had nothing to lose. Same with Megan Rapinoe. The Megster, she was an unknown soccer player making minimum wage in the NWSL. The WNBA, they were an overlooked dump, losing millions of dollars every year. The attention they received was a benefit. Same thing here with the Olympics. They are more afraid of the consequences from deacons at Woke United Methodist than they are of us. If ratings tanked after the opening ceremony, if ratings tanked after Imane Khelif's first fight, if advertisers pulled their money, I guarantee you, the Olympics, they would have done something about it. They didn't do anything because, from their perspective, there was no reason to. But give me your thoughts on this. The Olympics expect us to believe that they don't have the ability to determine gender. Why was this allowed to happen? Why was Imane Khelif allowed to win the gold medal? Is it because there were no consequences? What does this mean for the future of women's sports? Me personally, I think this is the beginning of the end. What about you? Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.